Shalom and good day, all. This is Tehillim29 back again for another Solicitation Station episode, as you'll see in the title and also the thumbnail. So, as you can see here, I have the Marvel previews along with the DC Connect. I'll start off with the Marvel previews as we have a bit of a look through what they're offering for the next upcoming month, as we start to approach May into June. So as we start to move into the Marvel previews for this month and what we're expected to see, of course, we get to see a giant-sized X-Men, to which they wish to destroy the X-Men universe with Kamala Khan. You get to finally move into the next upcoming pages, and to start off, there's not much of interest here. It is nice to see Mark Waid on the Fantastic Four fanfare. That might be something I might want to consider picking up. Godzilla versus the X-Men. Most definitely be added to my list, as I definitely want to check this out. Of course, we move into the area of all things in relation to the character of Dr. Doom, so the Doom Academy, Doom's Division, and of course One World Under Doom. There might be maybe one title in there which I might be considered interested in, but I might get the trade paperback of it first. Not much of interest here by what we can see. I'm surprised that they haven't thought of throwing Squirrel Girl into the freaking past to ruin the X-Men history. Of course, we get the move in relation to the area of the Avengers. And again, not much here of interest. Not much of interest. Of course, we have the internal art for what is coming up for the giant-sized X-Men, as well as the interior of the Dark Phoenix saga. Once again, how many times do they have to recycle this plot? It's like they like to eat used toilet paper. Marvel, and sometimes DC too, with some of their recycled ideas. Of course, we have the Amazing Spider-Man. I haven't picked up an Amazing Spider-Man since Nick Spencer was on it, and dropped it towards the end. Spider-Man and Wolverine, if it turns out to be a one-shot, maybe I might want to check it out. Maybe. Fantastic Four, might check it out. Maybe the first issue. Not much of interest here. Zero interest here. Zero interest here. Zero interest here. Amadeus Cho. The anniversary special, 20 years the character is. I find it a little bit hard to believe. It sounds like a bullshit stunt. Not much of interest here. I do like Psylocke, but I think I'd rather pick up an Epic collection on the character. And Laura Kinney is not Wolverine. Return her back to X-23 status. Not much of interest here. Again, not much of interest here. Same again. And again. Maybe the next volume of The Ultimate Spider-Man. Not much of interest here. Same again. And Miles Morales is not Spider-Man. Not much of interest here. Though if I were to pick up one thing, it would probably be the next volume of the Spider-Boy. Good old facsimile editions. Can't go wrong with them. Not much of interest here. And again. And again. And again, and of course again. Not much of interest here. Same applies to this, and of course to this, and to this. Don't pick up this crappy Star Wars. Not much of interest here. Oh, it's the fake Jedi Knights. Finally starting to approach the collected editions. Something that might be of interest. The Marvel Mega Superheroes, issues 1 to 12. That sounds cool. Nothing there. Same with this. Same with this. That looks like the original Captain Marvel. That might be worth picking up if it's in the Epic collection. Not much of interest here. Same again. Spider-Boy next volume, most definitely. Nothing of interest. Same again. These look like some of the newer titles. Not much of interest here. Not much of interest here. I wonder when the Hell Hunters one is going to come up. Not much of interest. Not much of interest. Good old-fashioned Daredevil Epic Collection. That would probably be worth the pick up. Some Silver Surfer Epic Collection. Oh, and definitely the Fantastic Four one. Not much here of choice. Now, one thing I like to do here, especially towards the end of the posters that are available, if I were to pick any one of these posters, which one would I pick? So we've got a Hulk one, which would actually be, should be the other way around in its appearance, but it is what it is. If I were to pick one of these posters, which one would I pick? I think maybe the Spider-Man Wolverine, followed by the Fantastic Four fanfare, if I were to pick any. Now it's time to move into DC Connect. So as we start to move into the DC Connect, will we get to see anything interesting in this upcoming Superman Unlimited All-In run under a certain writer that isn't quite loved in Marvel for a lot of things, and I think it's pretty valid for the things that he's not liked for. I've probably read maybe 1, maybe 2 issues in relation to some of his Marvel content, but that's not really a lot. So will I be able to give him the chance to maybe earn a bit of trust? We'll see how he goes with DC. And as you will soon find out, I will be asking for, or I will be wanting to get some certain titles. So what we learn about this month in May is that the Hush series is continuing with Jim Lee and Jeff Loeb. And of course we move into the Superman All-In, to which I do admit I do quite like the cover, like the main cover for it. And that's why I've requested just the first 2 issues. I'll let them be a bit of a decider for me if I choose to go ahead with it or not. Then there's Absolute Punisher. Absolute Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, to which none of them are on my list. Martian Manhunter, I think I'll give it a pass this time around. Absolute Flash, I'll only be checking out the first issue. That may not be the decider if I choose to follow further issues. Not interested in the Absolute Green Lantern. Of course, Superman will still be on my list in this time. Not really interested in this series, nor the writer that's on it. Batman, Superman, World's Finest, and Justice League Unlimited. Hopefully there'll be a little bit more on my list. I know World's Finest is. And hopefully I might end up collecting more of the Unlimited. Not really interested in any of these. And I was thinking about with the Absolute Universe, I'm surprised that they haven't thrown like a character like Mr. Terrific into the Absolute Universe. And I think it would probably be interesting if they did throw him in the universe. Or it doesn't have to be Mr. Terrific. What if it was actually Icon from the Milestone universe into the Absolute? I think his character would probably be maybe the better suited for the Absolute universe of what they're trying to pull off there. Of course, Action Comics and Detective Comics will still be in my list. Aquaman, I'm definitely looking forward to reading the next issue. Along with Nightwing, I'm glad Catwoman or Harley Quinn and the others aren't on my list. None of these are really on my list. About the only one that might be on the list is the Secret Six. Of course, we have Simon Spurrier doing what Simon Spurrier normally does. He really could actually learn a lot of lessons from Jeremy Adams. And moving into the area of the Green Lantern Corps, I hope I do actually get to like the series a little bit more, because I'd like to have more of a different range of titles that I review on the channel. Of course, we have Batman and Robin and Year One as well, which should still somewhat be on my list. Of course, we have some okay variants here. Dark Patterns, I hear, has been quite interesting. Ravi has sort of lost my respect a bit in regards to some of his storytelling, though I do understand what he's trying to do in some of his storytelling. Just the length of his stories and the way that they can be dragged out can also... I understand he's trying to use it to build a storyline, but sometimes it can destroy a storyline. The DC versus Sonic the Hedgehog, definitely in my list. Of course, it looks like we might have some Black Label content coming out. More in relation to Batman Hush. And finally, moving into any facsimile editions and anything else. The ones that have actually grabbed my interest in this list have been the Superman vs. Shazam, All New Collector's Edition, and the Our Army at War, which covers the character Sergeant Rock. Finally, into the collected editions, definitely the Philip Kennedy Johnson, Batman and Robin Memento. And that's about all. Not a lot here. Same again. Starting to approach the end. Not a lot here. But I do enjoy some of Kurt Busiek's storytelling. Because I remember one that I read that he did in relation to, or like a alternate universe type of Batman. Of course, we've got Wildcats and Flex Mentello. Not much here. Maybe the Shade Omnibus. Well, until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.